And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes a guest. He's the co-head writer for Jimmy Kimmel Live. It's Danny Ricker. Tone Zone is here to talk about how disappointed he is that the new Chicago-born Pope chose the name Leo over the more holy name of Pope Ditka. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the Love Bus and say hello to your best friend, Allison Rose.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison, with her good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison Rosen, Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little Spanacopatas. It's me, Allison. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular Greek carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon. By Isaac S. And yes, I am on Patreon. All sorts of fun stuff over there. You can get episodes of The Friend Zone. That's my bonus Patreon podcast. There's a level where you can text me and I will text you back. And I do a daily text update, although occasionally I forget. But then you just get extra gossip the next day. And if you want to know, if you want to peel back the curtain and really get a full up close taste of settling my parents' estate, that is where you go for that. But it's like a soap opera. Guys, it is like a soap opera and
a really boring soap opera.
I think it's actually like it's like a telenovela at this point. It's full of intrigue, colorful personalities, and more. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen. I recommend signing up for the annual subscription because then you get 2 months free.
That's a good deal.
Also, why did I say it like also? Also, Tony, cut out those other also.
No, this is another great intro.
I know.
I think we're killing
She
it.
practices these.
I know, isn't it? This is how I connect. If it's too perfect, then people, they don't see themselves in that. Whereas right now, someone's like, I could deliver that botched intro.
Yeah.
And then that's
like
how you get them.
You're the Hootie and the Blowfish of podcasters.
Don't you dare.
Yeah.
Why? Was that Darius Rucker's thing? Like
I just feel like everybody felt like I could sing like that. Like he was just good enough that I could do that. He wasn't intimidatingly, talented.
So anyway, I'm also on Substack. AllisonRosen.substack.com. Okay. I would like to say hello to my guest. Welcome back, Danny Ricker.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Wonderful to see you again.
Likewise.
Daniel, hi.
Hi.
And Tony.
That's what you gave him. Hi.
I know.
I know that it was somebody's birthday yesterday. Let's stop the podcast and go get some cocaine.
It was my birthday. Yes, I was born on Mother's Day, and I'll die on Mother's Day.
Were you born on Mother's Day?
I was born on actual Mother's Day.
How often has that happened? Like, how many times has your birthday ended up falling on Mother's Day?
You would think I would know, right?
Great.
But I don't. Just like my dad's birthday was sometimes on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it was always like, oh, is it Thanksgiving this year? So I don't know. But I'm sure some kind of calendar nerd. Danny, do you specialize in calendars?
No, I was trying to do the math and I realized I was going to get it very wrong if I tried. So I just decided to stay silent. All right. Now, Daniel, here's a big question for you.
Yeah.
Her birthday falling on Mother's Day is a challenge for the husband, I would guess. And do you feel like, I'm going to ask you both. Daniel, do you feel like you rose to the challenge?
I'll answer that. I feel like I rose
really isn't mine.
I feel like I rose to the challenge in that back in the day. Okay, I'd like to acknowledge that there's a drum set in here, and my concern was that I would hear my voice bouncing off of it, and I am like a tiny bit. But there's no snare, which is a separate
it's like
story.
you
and
have
that would
reverb
really
and
rattle.
the rest of us don't.
Yeah. So we'll address that later. But anyway, see, back in the days when I had expectations, and I don't mean that, I don't mean like I've given up or anything. I just mean it's easy to have unrealistic expectations.
Right.
And I think that is a setup for feeling disappointed and feeling like the person feeling like they can't win. But I have risen to the challenge now that I'm wise and
You
old.
have risen by decreasing your expectations.
I have no expectations anymore. So they nailed it.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
I woke up. walked into the other room and there was this like banner that said happy birthday with like fake flowers hanging and stuff. And I don't know if you did it on purpose, but like the flowers look like my favorite kind of flowers.
That is on purpose.
Yes.
Oh shit! Really? That's so nice.
It was.
It actually on years when it doesn't fall on Mother's Day, it's harder
Oh, interesting.
because then you have to like
they're like a week
Get two
apart or
presents.
something.
you have to do
and then-
2
yeah.
days.
Yeah,
you
okay.
got to do 2 special days.
So this was a savings for you. This-
Exactly.
yeah.
It's like 2 for 1. I get to do 1 special day,
Yeah.
1 big special day instead of 2, because it's not like in half for
Right,
the 2 others.
right.
It's like, but no, she's yeah, it used to be very stressful. Let's just put it that way. Her birthday, like the whole like 2 weeks ahead, it'd be like 2 weeks before her birthday, it'd be like, why is she in such a mood? And it's like anticipating her birthday. And
Did
this
you
was a big
notice
birthday too.
Yeah, that I
But we don't
didn't-
want to tell anybody. We don't want to tell anybody how old you turn. You turned
No.
35.
I will say it because I've said it before. I fucking turned 50.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow, that's exciting.
My life's half over.
You know,
No, it's 2/3 over.
I know. People keep pointing that out to me. Helpfully.
Yeah.
I always like I turned 40 last year,
Oh my
and
gosh.
everyone's like
Child.
yeah, well, I know it's just funny
Child is
'cause-
speaking.
but you know, and of course I feel like an old man just on the inside and the outside, but I am getting more excited the older I'm getting, and I don't know if this is kind of a newer phenomenon, but I think maybe as like people are healthier, I guess,
Yeah.
because we see, like, I think about your idea of a grandparent, right? And you're like, oh, they can't get out of a chair, and they're overweight, and they
Shattering their hips
yeah,
all the
yes,
time.
and they have oxygen tanks, and then in my mind, they're like,
Yeah.
how old is an old person? I'd be like 60, right? I know people who are 60.
I know.
I work with people who are 60 who are like, you're in great shape. You're hot. Like, you're
Yeah.
doing great. And so, I don't know, maybe the new mindset is like it's not an end of your life kind of thing to be
Right.
50, 60, 70.
Well, there is that thing
Thank
of
you.
like our people started taking better care of themselves,
Yeah.
not smoking. Like my grandfather died at 56.
Wow.
And he was always super old to me. I look at pictures, he looks super old. It's
Yeah,
not like it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
a perception thing, right? But he smoked 3 packs a day, always had a glass of warm gin in his hand. Like that guy, yeah, that makes sense. He died at 56. That's what happens when you live like that. And that's what you look like when you live like that.
The
So-
AARP, just so you know, you have now 10 years to get ready. The AARP sends you a mailing like a day before your 50th birthday.
Wow.
They are so, are they working with Social Security? Like they are so on it.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't feel good. Even though, as a joke, we were tempted to
They
sign
should
up.
make it funny.
They should.
They should be like, ha ha. Guess how?
Gotcha.
Yeah, we know how old you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. So-
Don't you feel like if you meet a 20-year-old, are you jealous of that person?
No.
I'm not either.
Right.
I go, hey, good for you. But I go, I feel like I did all my fuck ups
Yeah.
already at this point. I go, now I'm like pretty good.
No, I feel like I never want to be like I don't want to have to go through everything
Yeah.
again. The only thing is
Right.
this sort of greediness over time. Like
I
I
don't-
wish I had more time.
I don't want my skin to sag. I don't like that aspect of it. Like my neck is starting to get a little waddle. But like the part, it's the physical. I
Yeah.
want to be able to be more resilient physically.
Mhm.
But yeah, I feel like as you get older, you feel like you come into your own more.
You
There's like
care a little
certain-
less, maybe.
Yeah, there's a certain. I know for me, there's this shedding of like any care about what people. I don't feel like I need to argue certain things anymore with people. I feel like I understand myself and things better. I don't know. It's like you don't have to justify. You don't have to prove yourself.
I have this smirk on my face because I thought you were going to say you don't care what people think anymore, and I was thinking about how you have Daniel bought a laminating machine and you have a laminated like chart of skincare.
But that isn't
Cool
about.
as
That isn't about. That, my dear, is about me trying to
Preserve.
preserve what little I have.
I know.
Is it
I know.
laminated because you're worried you'll get like lotion on it?
Well,
or something?
it's on the. I'm an aggressive toothbrusher. I'm not afraid to say it. And if it's on the mirror in front of me, that shit's getting warped
Yeah.
and fucked up. but you laminate it. You just gotta wipe it off, and it's still good. So
was this the inciting incident to buy the lamination machine? You're like,
Yes, it
I've
was.
gone through
Well,
so many skincare
okay,
charts.
so the laminator was one of those like frivolous things where it's like, I'm not going to use this very often, but it'd be when you want it, you want it. You know what I mean? And so I never bought it. When you want a laminator, you want to fucking. There's no substitute. There's not you can't use the iron. And
You actually could though, right?
honey, this show's just crafts people right now are just laughing at you. So you just go, but then I was thinking, oh, it'd be good, and then it was on sale.
Yeah,
And it was like $20. I was like, how am I going to pass that up? So I got me a laminator, and it's good.
What else have you laminated besides your skincare routine?
Nothing, but there's some
But you
projects
might,
on the
yeah.
horizon.
You saying that this show, crafting people are getting excited. I have to share the new form of manipulation that our son Owen is
my
using.
God. By the way, this is like it's like I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's like that I'm being punished. It's like Greek. It's like I'm being punished with my own interests. Like I like crafts, and so God gave me a child who is so obsessed with crafts that I will hate crafts, that I will be punished with crafts.
So Owen gets these. Owen is very smart and very creative and very much a child and has no patience and doesn't understand what he's asking. So he will be like, I want to make a solar system out of this, and this, and Daddy, I need you to do all the. And Daniel is incredibly creative and good at making stuff. So I think Owen thinks that he can just invent something, and then Daniel can, fabricate it for him. He doesn't understand any limitation.
One night he was like, it's a need to him, a vending machine made out of cardboard. a working vending machine made out of cardboard because he wanted to make a video.
Because he's a YouTuber.
He's a YouTuber. He's 6.
He tells people too. I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah, and it's hard because it's like he'll do this right before bed.
That's
so
generally when he comes up with it.
It's a tactic we have in our house.
Do you have?
Well, I have no skills whatsoever, so they don't ask me to build anything.
smart.
That's so good.
But my kids
Don't have skills.
Yes, yeah, no, I've really dined out on that. But my kids suddenly get very interested in my life around 8:30 at night, where they can't be bothered to know anything about me. And then right as the light goes off, my son starts going, "Dad, where did you go to college?" And I always fall for it. I always go, "Oh my God!" I go, "Well," and I start telling a story, and then he asked me a lot of questions.
Did they read Dale Carnegie? They're like, ask him about himself. Everyone likes to talk about him.
And I'm so narcissistic. I'm like, of course I'll answer all your questions. And then suddenly it's 9:15. I go,
Right.
God damn it, I fell for it again.
Right.
But the thing is, Daniel did make the vending machine.
Oh, you fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Well,
So here's what Owen has started
because
doing.
he'll
though.
remember in the morning. Like a lot of things with our oldest son, you can kind of like skate by and then he won't remember. I mean, he might bring it up a week later, like you didn't do that thing. But Owen will wake up and it's top of mind. He'll wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And like, where is it? Like, and so there's accountability with this child.
So what he started, because it's like a whole thing. It is a whole thing of Daniel being like, I work from home. I cannot be making stuff while I'm on a Zoom call. Like, it's just like Daniel's like, we need some kind of system we need Owen to understand that he cannot be demanding crafts during the middle of the workday. He can ask, but He starts crying. He's like, but I can't be me if I can't do crafts. Or was it, if I can't do crafts, I can't be me. How can I be me if I can't do crafts?
Yeah.
It's that sentiment. Sometimes the wording changed, but it's, how can I can't be me if I can't do crafts. And I'm like, what is this level of like what is happening?
He is a crafting YouTuber. He is already very well defined.
But like I've not heard him have a sense of identity that revolves around crafts like this, even though it makes sense.
Honey, it's never too early to brand yourself.
I guess so.
It's like this, these Gen Alpha, man, they've got it. I don't know.
Did you explain to him that that you are the one doing the craft? Because what he's saying is I can't be me unless Dad is doing my craft.
This is something I have tried to explain. It's sort of his explanation is, but I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
He would do it, but he doesn't know how to create, like, he's the idea man. He's the idea man, and he just farms it out to the vendor. You know what I mean? Like, he comes in with the plans, and then or the sort of high concept, and then I have to execute. So, he had this one where he had, and it was nice. On Procreate, he had drawn this bird and these little seeds, and he was like, I want this bird to have a hidden magnet behind his beak, and so that you can feed the seeds to the bird and they'll stick to the thing. Here you go. And then like I happen to have
he made it.
I happen to have some like 1/4-inch foam core, and I was able to like cut it out and put the magnet in there behind the picture and everything, and it worked. And it's like, it is this thing of like, I'm just fucking myself by executing this right.
Every time.
Yeah. I should do that thing my dad taught me to do, which is when he was given a grocery list by his wife, my stepmother, and she had a very specific mustard, he'd get the wrong mustard on purpose. And then he's never asked to do it.
And he
again.
told you about that?
Yeah.
Just make a deal with Owen.
Yeah.
He makes it. You laminate it.
Yeah. Yes. Or if
It's a win-win.
If you're manufacturing, maybe you can charge him like a tariff, or set up a little like an Etsy page where he has to order it and put money in. Before, I mean, you can benefit off this.
He doesn't have much of value though to give, other than going to bed early, getting in his jammies.
I mean, God, that would work. I have started doing something horrible, which is I'm just straight up bribing my older son with small amounts of money because he's I'm a pretty bad into money. person.
To be nice.
Yeah, like there was a period of time where we were having to go down to Orange County like every weekend. And so either Daniel's mom was here or we had a babysitter, and Owen really wanted to make videos and he needed me to hold the camera because he refuses to accept a tripod. And then, but Elliot is the one, who actually knows editing a little more. Hang on a second. So I'd be like, Elliot, if you do the videos with Owen, I'll give you $5. He's like, okay. But it got to the point where it's like, if you just be nice to him, I'll give you $3. But he does it. And I'm like, isn't that bad? Yes. Tony.
Yeah.
I do. Now, we went to Knott's Berry Farm yesterday, so I do want to get to that, but let's just address the literal drum set in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a drum set in the room. It is missing a snare and it is missing a ride cymbal. I have not played drums in probably 20 years, and also I don't think I had ever set them up myself, because I think the guy that I bought them from, they were used when I bought them. The guy that I bought them from set it up, and then I don't know, like, so did I do it okay?
Yeah, actually, that looks pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their own, exactly where they want everything.
Right.
But you're in the ballpark there. That looks pretty good.
If it was your drums, how would you do it differently? Like for you,
the toms would be lower and flatter.
I was saying that.
And I only have one rack tom, but that's just a personal thing.
I actually don't know if I can get them lower, but that metal thing must go down.
Oh yeah,
right?
you got to use a drum key on this part here.
Oh,
They're called memory locks, and you can loosen that, and then you can drop it down.
What's a drum key? What does it look like?
It's how you tune the thing you use to tune the drums.
Yep, never ever tuned. They don't sound good. They sound bad. And then we'll get back to things that anyone besides me cares about, but they're very loud.
Yeah.
Is there
They are drums.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have those pads that fit on them that make it so not fun.
Yeah.
Do you think if I put up like some kind of something on the walls here that would soak any of it up? Not really, right?
A little bit, but not too much. They're just loud. I mean, you could even do I feel like the kind of dead sound, like where everything's not ringing so much, just kind of like thud. That's kind of like the big sound right now, I feel like. And
is that a drum key thing?
No,
Tuning?
that's more, a little bit, but it's also like putting like light, almost like tea towels or something on the drum heads, and it just kind of makes them like a thud. But it's still going to be loud.
Don't they
but
slide off, or do you tape them on?
There's different ways. So you can tape them, or you can even. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I would be interested to know. What were you going to say, Daniel?
Oh, I was just going to say, do people record with that on, or is that a practice thing?
Yeah, you can. It's. I feel like that. That's what I was saying. Is I feel like that drum sound right now is
It's
kind of
popular?
like it was kind of like a 70s thing, and I feel like it's kind of coming back now. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what Owen wants to learn the drums.
He does.
Yeah, because I was like,
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to get both of the kids to learn piano. Elliot did for a minute, and then he just lost interest. I just feel like piano's so basic. Like you start with piano, and then you
It helps
move
with
on.
everything else.
Yeah, it's just like such a good basic instrument to learn. Elliot just lost interest, and Owen has no interest.
But Elliot is back to being interested a little bit because
Just so he
they're
can
gonna-
show off in class, but he's not
Yeah.
like I keep trying to appeal to him. Like, this is how you need to know this if you're going to be a songwriter or whatever. And I think he just wants to do TikTok dances or some bullshit. We're so fucked.
It's hard to compete with online with kids. I mean, because a piano, even when I was a kid, felt like homework. Like I took, it's like mathematical, and
Yeah.
I always had trouble with it. And I didn't have like YouTube. I mean, I know I'm even impressed. You're like, our kid wants to be a YouTuber. I go, my kids just want to watch YouTube. They don't even want to put in the work to be on YouTube.
I mean, I'm not sure how much work they're putting in it. Yeah, I know.
Well, Owen's movie ideas are pretty
Right, but they're not like
elaborate.
Yeah.
And then we have to execute it.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. Doing videos with him, and then he'll be like, okay, cut. Or, he'll be like, okay. But he has his own terminology. I forget what it is. Pause. Yeah, I forget.
Or
But
stop or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll remember next time, and then I'll tell the story. It's funny.
Okay.
But I don't remember any of the details, so I can't tell it now.
I look forward to hearing it. So anyway, we went to Knott's Berry Farm. The plan was, okay, so my birthday was on Sunday. Saturday, Elliot and I were going to go see Annie. And then Sunday, we were going to have a relaxing day. And then we were going to go out to dinner up here to a nice restaurant. Taking the kids to a nice restaurant, I thought, well, that's not going to go well. But we're going at like 5:15, so
In and out.
Yes.
Yeah, easier, all things considered. Yeah.
Right. Not a problem. But then I got this wild hair up my butt on Saturday that maybe we should go to Knott's Berry Farm. I hadn't been to Knott's Berry Farm I feel like I was in my 20s the last time I went. And I think we all know how long ago that was, given that I have declared my age. I feel like we go to Disneyland a lot, which with children is so different. It's not fun, even though you'd think it'd be more fun.
Oh, it's just that it's so
It's hard.
fucking
It's just
crowded.
difficult.
It's
Yeah.
always so crowded.
And you feel like you have to get a lot done when you're at
Right.
Disneyland. Like
Yeah. Right.
I'm checking boxes. I mean, like, how many rides did we get on?
Yeah.
How much did we pay to get in here? And I divide those numbers and give myself a score. Where I feel like
Yeah.
Knott's Berry Farm, it's a little more chill.
Well,
Totally.
so I've really been appreciating amusement parks that have a not Disney vibe. Like my favorite part of Legoland was that it was so different than Disneyland. It was so chill. And then Knott's Berry Farm too. Has anyone been there recently or ever?
I weirdly have still never been.
You should go, Tony.
I know, and it's weird because it's owned by the same, like one of my favorite amusement park in the world is Cedar Point in Ohio, and it's the same owners and everything, and they have a lot of the same things. I've never been.
The roller coasters there are great, actually.
Yeah, that's it. The Cedar Point places. The best for that. Yeah.
Of course, we didn't go on any of them because
Well,
the kids
Elliot and
are
I
too
did
young.
log ride.
Yeah, you guys did the log ride.
Yeah.
yeah. But we did
yeah,
all the Camp
so-
Snoopy rides, which was fun.
Hadn't been there in so long. Yeah, it was hot. It was a good day. I've just accepted that as a parent, you just don't go on very many rides.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's mostly about walking around. And
We would go to Disneyland occasionally before we had kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, boy, this is gonna be great when we have kids. And then we had kids and brought them in. It's like, oh no, it sucks. It's actually way worse when you have kids.
Well, yeah, and if you want to go on a ride, you're like, okay, I want to do the Incredicoaster.
Right.
It's like that
Yeah.
requires your spouse taking both kids. I mean, for over an hour because you got to
Oh,
wait
yeah.
in line and then do the ride, and that feels like weird. That feels indulgent.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I have to say though, the food was not as good as I feel like it should have been, because I feel like Knott's is like, we're the chicken place, we're the boysenberry place.
Can we talk about boysenberries for just half a second?
Sure. Now, Knott's invented the boysenberry.
Like, I love that idea.
That they invented-
Conceptually, I love that they invented a berry.
Wait, that's
own
true? I
berry.
didn't know that.
yeah.
Yes.
Can you?
What?
Do we need Tony to double check it? No, it's true.
No, it's true.
They,
It's the whole
yeah,
thing.
they invented the boysenberry.
And I love the idea of the boysenberry. I love blueberries and raspberries, and it's like, it's like some sort of fusion, and they're just so disappointing. Like, relative to what you think they would be, you'd think it's like the most amazing berry. It's just like,
what is it
it's
really? A
fine.
blackberry and a raspberry?
or something like that. It's
Tony,
just like,
we are going to need you to look it up.
It's like fine. I don't know. Like I want something really special. If you're gonna craft your whole identity around it,
If you're going to play God with produce, you got to
Exactly.
deliver.
do not do that.
Just because they can doesn't mean they should have.
What have we wrought? It's fine. It's fine.
So we just planned that we would go to that chicken restaurant, Knott's Chicken Restaurant, or whatever it's called. Do you know what it's called? Mrs. Knott. I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Do I know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there.
No, but I know, but I mean, you've been there
Yes,
before,
I know.
right?
I'm aware of it. Yeah, we ate there last night. We
No,
got
we got it to
food.
go.
Well, yeah, but I was there with you.
So
That's what
no,
I'm
but
saying.
no, I'm saying, have you been to the restaurant, the sit-down restaurant before?
You mean have I eaten in the restaurant? No.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
there.
Did anyone else not understand what I was asking?
To be honest, I was Googling what the name of the restaurant was.
Oh, okay.
So
You were asking if he had eaten there before you were there yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, that wasn't clear to me. No, I haven't.
Okay. Well,
The only reason I know it was a special thing is like I saw like a Huell Hauser or something about it.
Oh,
Like
yes.
it was like, ooh, and it's like famous and people make a big deal about it. So I knew it was a big deal because
Right.
of that. Like
So I
Yeah.
figured, okay, we're not going to go to the fancy French restaurant in Sherman Oaks. We're going to go to this other restaurant that's at Knott's, and I have fond memories of it. It was Mother's Day. Like, it was impossible to get a reservation. So we just picked up the food. They have a place where you can get it to go. Brought it home. It was not good. It was fine. It was fine, but it was not good.
I feel like I've heard other people talk about that it has gone
Really?
downhill.
Okay, so my memory is right then. And then also, I spent $21 on boysenberry gummy bears, and I'm not even a gummy bear person, and freeze-dried boysenberry gummy bears, and I'm not a freeze-dried candy person. I don't know what happened. I think Owen had a massive meltdown in the geode shop because he wanted to buy like a $200 marble thing because it looked like a planet, and it was very taxing. And I think after that, I was just like, I'm broken. I will buy these gummy bears. On first blush, the boysenberry flavor is like, oh yeah, it's good and fruity. And then it turned into soap flavor so fast. So I feel like I need to write a strongly worded letter.
I mean, to Big Boysenberry.
This is Cordelia Knott.
The lead geneticist,
Yeah.
produce geneticist.
Yeah.
Tony, what have you found?
About boysenberry?
Yeah, or about the name of the restaurant.
The name of the restaurant is Mrs. Knott's Chicken Dinner Restaurant.
I was so in the ballpark of that.
And then the boysenberry is a cross between the European raspberry, European blackberry, American dewberry, and loganberry.
Oh my God, what's a dewberry?
Is the loganberry what Swedish fish are flavored?
That's a lingonberry.
That's a lingonberry. Okay. See, I don't know my berries.
Someone could
So many
major
berries,
in berries. I know. Like DEW berry?
Yeah, it says they're closely related to blackberries. They're small. Reminiscent of raspberries.
And soap.
But they're usually purple to black instead of red.
There you go.
Now, I'm not trying to defend Mrs. Knott's and her chicken here, but I heard you say you picked it up and brought it home. So
I don't even think it had. I don't think it was like, 40 minutes ago this would have been delicious.
it wasn't a bad travel. It was
I thought that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as crispy, the fried chicken, so there's that. But the flavor just wasn't.
Yeah.
The chicken was fine, but I don't know.
But besides a $200 geode, what is the pricing at Knott's Berry Farm? Is it because in my mind, Knott's Berry Farm is like a local operation, Orange County, owned and operated. To me, that should be a little more reasonable, but it's also a theme park. So
I also was under the impression it was quite reasonable because I remember Todd Perry, with whom I do Allison and Todd After Hours, a Patreon podcast, patreon.com/Allison and Todd, goes all the time. And I remember looking it up somewhat recently and thinking like, oh, this is so affordable. However, we got there and one ticket is $101 or something.
No.
But then she said to us, if you buy it online,
it's like way cheaper. Yeah. And
this
so
is how Legoland was as well.
They want you to use their app for some reason. I don't know why.
Probably because they can then serve you ads.
Well, there were
maybe.
lots of
But
were
so then
lots
it was
of like, do you want up, up
85 per person is what it ended up being, which still
it was
is more than
$300 for 4 people.
Okay,
so.
which is still quite a lot, but less than Disneyland.
I felt like in the last year I've been to Disneyland and Universal Studios, and Disneyland, while it is very expensive to go there, I feel like they've ingeniously priced things at Disneyland where they're about $3 less than you're expecting it to be, and you go, what a steal this is. Like, my burger is only $16.
Right.
I thought it would be $21. Like, wow. And then Universal, I think, does the opposite, unfortunately, where they're just like $3 too much, and I spend the whole day angry there.
Yeah.
Like, even I took my son on, he loves the Jurassic Park ride. That's his favorite. And then they take your picture on it like they all do at theme parks. Now, at Disneyland, you get off, and if you want to buy the picture, you kind of got to like figure out how to do that, but they just put it up for free, and you can take a picture or whatever. To even see your photo from the Jurassic Park ride, you have to wait in line at a cash register. You walk up and the person goes, "Hi, which photo package would you like?" And then there's stickers all over the screen being like, "No cell phone pictures, whatever." And I go, "What a rip this is!"
Yeah.
So I'm wondering where Knott's fell in the hierarchy.
So it sounds like they're right in the middle because
they put watermarks all over it, so it's like over your face.
But you can still take a picture of it.
Yeah.
But then it's just got watermarks all over it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I got that like cash numbness that happens that happens there, where it's just like a bottle of water for $5. Yes.
Honestly,
or
it's smart to
boysenberry punch that Elliot got for $12. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart to like have the ticket price low, because then I was more willing to spend more money in the park, but Disneyland's like, but we don't have to do that. We're Disneyland,
right?
So we don't.
When we went to Universal, we packed a lunch because we're cheap, and so we sit down kind of in the middle area where everyone's eating, and we're unpacking like turkey sandwiches, and our kids were just looking at us like so sad. They were like, "Look at all these other kids eating funnel cake and cheeseburgers," and they just went and we went and go, you know what? If we're gonna pay like $300 to get in here, like we might as well pay an extra $40 so the kids can eat French fries and like actually like enjoy themselves, instead of us pointing out constantly how expensive everything is.
There's one thing about Knott's too that I found disconcerting, which is like I feel like they told everyone who works there, and this isn't a bad thing, they told everybody who works there, like, engage with the
that's how I feel like Disneyland and Trader Joe's are.
But see, at Disneyland, they're just friendly. Okay, they don't like try to make a show of anything.
Yeah,
they're just there and they're friendly. And if and Trader Joe's, they'll intrusively compliment your items that you bought, which is always awkward. But like at Knott's, the guy who's got the little sweeper who looks like he sleeps on a park bench.
Are you talking about the old prospector guy who was
near the
us?
old prospector? Okay. The prospector guy was actually nice, but no, there was just like this youngish guy with this scraggly beard, and he's like, and I mean with kids, he's like, "Hey, whoa," and he's trying to like do improv with us and shit, and he's got the sweeper, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like
safe.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like, oh, this is part of the experience. This feels like, are you mentally ill? Like, is this like a situation I need to worry about?
He doesn't look like a 35-year-old UCB member, like in a fake beard. You're like, oh, is this someone wandered in here?
Like, generally someone who's like that, like sunburnt and just like and crazed look in their eyes. Like, I'm not used to like relaxing around them and joshing it up.
Yeah,
like I'm usually like, stay away from that. He might have schizophrenia. Like, I don't know. It's just. Not everyone should be approaching the people.
They have a great show there. I say it's great. I haven't seen it, but a lot of people I have been friends with for many years are involved in the show. But there's something at Knott's called Ghost Town Alive. Have you heard of this?
No.
Totally interactive. It's almost like Westworld, but it's like for kids, like
Oh, cool.
There's no like sexy robots or whatever, but it's like a Old West town square. Everyone's an improviser, but not like a scary improviser.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of stories going on simultaneously, and then they all kind of come together at the end. But so if your kids like run into, say, a bank robber, and they go, "Hey, do you want to be my accomplice?" and your kid can go off and do that, it's really neat. It's like a as the parks have become more competitive, they're doing these like immersive type of show things.
That's neat.
It doesn't run all year, but I've heard it's fantastic, and I know like half the people who do it.
I like that idea. That's really cool.
I was when you said it's like Westworld, I was like waiting for, and there's animatronic robots, but no.
One of the
All
coolest
just
things.
improvisers,
I love stuff like that. Disneyland did years ago this thing where they you could order this kit or whatever box that was like Haunted Mansion themed. I don't know if you saw this, and there were only like I don't know, a limited number of them, and there were all these clues, and you would go, once you kind of like solve the clues or something, you would go to the park with this app that you got, and you could go around the park, and things in the park had clues that would interact. So it wasn't just in the app. So you go, like there was there's in one of the gift shops in Frontier Town, there's like a little player. It's like a thing you put a quarter in, and it's got all the instruments in it. And it plays like, Western music. But if you have the app for this game, it actually would play like a Haunted Mansion song. Only if you had that app. Or the like fortune teller on Main Street. If you went, normally you'd get like a normal fortune, but if you went up with your app, it gives you a special card. So that idea of having a special interactive experience with the park is I like that idea.
It's like the Da Vinci Code, but for
I dig that shit.
So Danny, since we last saw you,
Yeah.
you've guested on Jimmy Kimmel
I
where
have.
you work.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
How was it? I didn't see the show, but I saw an Instagram that you had posted of you like walking out.
the face reveal.
Yeah. My friend Claire, who was my producer, took that, which was great. It was sort of like the Martin Scorsese, like, walk backstage. It was like super fun. It was really scary. It was really surreal. Luckily, I have worked at that show for almost 20 years, and the entire staff really like rallied to kind of Weekend at Bernie's, like prop me up and push me out there and have a good segment. So it was great. My parents and my siblings were in the audience, and my kids were backstage, and it was really. I thought about it for about. I knew it was going to happen for 2 years, because like when I sold the book, like Jimmy was like, "Yeah, you can come on the show to promote it," which was exciting. And so I thought about it every day for 2 years, and then it was like an 8-minute segment. Like it was kind of like a wedding, but even I thought about it longer, and it was even shorter. It was only 8 minutes, but
8 minutes.
Yeah, it was really weird. I mean, like, I feel like we all kind of have that like dream where you're like, oh, if I was like a guest on a on a talk show, and then I was like literally sitting there.
Yeah.
And it was hard to imagine it was actually happening.
It's so interesting that you say that it was scary, because when I was watching it, the reel, I was thinking like, oh, this does feel very nerve-wracking, but then I was thinking, for you, you must be so comfortable because it is your workplace.
It helped, and like even like the studio where the show is, like we do our rehearsal in there every day. I've sat in that room every day for almost 20 years, and so that helped for sure. And and even like the stage manager who came back and got me, it's like, yeah, I've known this guy forever. And so it was like, there were a lot of little moments where it's like every department who I interacted with like did something kind of special to help me in a really sweet way. Like this, like our the Jimmy's hair and makeup stylist, Stephanie, who I've known forever and I love, like she was like, I'll do your makeup for the show. I was like, okay. And I randomly caught like a side view of myself, and my beard has never connected to my hair. I have like the little gap, and I realized it was filled in, and I go, did you fill in my sideburns? She goes, yeah. I was like, and I was like weirdly like touched by that. And then right before I walked out, I'm good friends with all the props guys. And like the band is playing, I'm backstage, I'm about to walk out, I'm like so nervous. And then one of our props guys, Nova, goes, oh, wait, you can't go out yet. I was like, oh, okay. He goes, there's a thing we do with all the guests before they walk out. I was like, okay. So I'm standing there, and then he walks over with a mirror with 5 lines of cocaine on it and a big pile of cocaine, fake obviously, but because he's a props guy, it looked like perfect. And then he handed me a rolled up $20 bill, not just completely straight faced. I started laughing so hard.
That's great.
And then our props master was like, he thought about that for like 2 weeks. Like he was like, I want to do something that's going to make him laugh right before he goes out. So it was like a day of like stress, but also like just like warmth from everybody.
That's so
It was
sweet.
really like, and everyone put up with me like just asking questions for months and having Zoom meetings and stuff with people. So it was they put up with my insanity over it. Yeah.
And then how was Jimmy?
Great. And was really, I went to him the week before too. And I was like, I want to be a good guest. Like, what should I do? And he had some good advice. And he told me, he goes, what we will want to do is talk about how you've worked here for so long. But he goes, the point of you coming on is to sell your book. So we should like really talk about kind of the best stuff from the book and all that. So he helped me a lot there. And it was great. He took really good care of me. I knew he would. That was the other thing too. It's like if I was with someone I had never met before, that would have been more of a challenge. I felt like, because I was like, I really have to deliver here. And I still felt that, but I was like, I know he's going to help me. And he interviews people all the time who he doesn't know. And I was like, we are actually like friends. So I know he'll help me out. Yeah.
That's so, that temptation to just talk about how you've worked there forever. I could see where that would be strong.
And he's like, and it could be all inside jokes and all this kind of stuff. But he's like, we'll do like a tiny bit of that, and then we'll talk about the book. So.
That's great. Yeah.
And did you see a bump in sales?
Yeah, I mean, it's been all the little TV things I've done have been nice, and so it's weird. I worked on the book for so long, like by myself in a dark cave, and so the fact that it's like in Barnes and Noble right now is really neat. Yeah.
Wow, You Look Terrible. That's the name, right?
That's what it's called. Yeah.
Yes, and you came on this show to promote it, so everyone go listen to that Monday show. But it's
And get
Wow
that
You-
Allison bump.
Yeah.
That's
Wow,
right.
every author, I remember what comes in front of the colon, and then I can't remember. Wow, You Look Terrible.
Had a parent less and live more.
Exactly. Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
When did you start at Kimmel?
I was a college intern there in 2006. I was a 21-year-old child, and now I'm almost a 41-year-old senior citizen. And I've been there. I've done a bunch of jobs there, but.
So I played it in 2006.
Oh, you did?
I wonder if we.
What do you know? What time of year?
I'm pretty sure it was like right at the beginning of the year.
Oh, so we
I
might
remember right.
we might have missed each other. Yeah, I started in September 2006. My first day as an intern, I got Baja Fresh for Toby Keith. I remember that was my first day in show business.
I got Kimmel was on Hacks last week.
Yeah,
and he was really good. And I was thinking, like, every time I see Jimmy, I always think that job that he has does not appeal to me as a job at all.
They've been trying to get Daniel for years.
No, but I just God. They asked once, okay, which hasn't been used. The idea of getting up there every single day and performing, like, how does that appeal to him? That sounds like torture to me.
Yeah, I he started morning radio, and so I think he's genetically built, I think, to do a show like that. And I've known lots of people who have worked on other talk shows that are kind of like a vanity project for, an already famous person. And they're like, oh, that sounds easy. And, like the host will cruise in like an hour before the taping and be like, okay, what are the comedy skits tonight? And who am I interviewing? Whatever. Those shows are dead in a year. Like, I mean, every single time they're dead in a year. And all the ones that are on the air, I think Jimmy especially, it's because the host is so involved and really, writes and produces and really cares about it. And so, I go to bed at like 10 o'clock at night and I wake up at 5:30 in the morning and I have a dozen emails from Jimmy that are scripts he's revised and ideas he's had and things he's written.
He's just really dedicated.
He's that involved. Yeah.
Is that really your schedule?
Yeah, pretty much.
What? Okay. Talk us through this. Your kids go to bed at 8:30.
Around there.
Or 9:15 if they get you talking about college.
Yes, if they appeal to my narcissism.
So how does your evening wind down? Because we have a thing where we get stuck in the kids' room doing bedtime, and then we come out, and then it's like I have actually started going to bed earlier, so I'm just like, okay, bye, Daniel, and then I go to bed. But it's somehow it gets late so fast.
Yeah, I really don't do anything that's not working or being a parent like Monday through Thursday. Friday we work, but we don't tape a show. So it's like we kind of, I have a little more leeway there. And then the weekends I try to be as present of a parent as I can. But yeah, I wake up at 5:30 and that's just so like I can get going and I can get caught up before I have to write. And then I write from 7 to 9 basically, and then
At your house.
at my house, and then I try to go for a run, and then I'm on a Zoom meeting at 10:15 with Jimmy that's going over the guests that night, and what else we're doing, and then we're in the studio. We have a rehearsal at 11, and then we work until we tape at 4:30, and then we tape until
Wait, you have a
5:36.
Zoom meeting at 10:15 and then you're in the studio at 11?
Yeah, so
How
usually
fast is that meeting?
sometimes it's like a 45-minute meeting, more or less. So we're. And that's just the producers will go like, hey, Ben Affleck's on the show tonight. Here are some things you could talk about. And they kind of pitch Jimmy all of that. And then, 11:30 is our rehearsal, where we look at a bunch of clips and bits and stuff like that. And then we're there till about 6. And then I leave about 6:37. And then we like eat a quick dinner, get the kids in bed. I answer emails for about 90 minutes and then fall asleep with my phone in my hand.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's brutal.
It's
When
not
do the kids take baths?
We do every other night.
We started doing
showers.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, showers.
Yeah. Although the showers, I did such a dad thing this morning. So usually I'm sitting down my computer.
Wait, how old are your kids now?
My daughter's 11 and my son is 7.
And the 7-year-old takes showers?
Yeah.
His son is same grade as Elliot. We went to his son.
Yeah. I think we first met at Elliot's birthday party.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, we so I like every morning I'm sitting at my computer working, and my daughter comes in, she says good morning, and then just it so happened this morning I just gotten our Burbank water and power bill, which has the amount that we're going to be paying, and so our kids take the longest showers, and it drives me insane. I don't do it with our daughter anymore.
That would happen with Elliot.
She's old enough where she
Yeah.
needs privacy, but like my son, I literally sit in the bathroom and I read a book, which is so dad, but it's to keep the shower brief. And so I got that little Burbank water and power thing, and I look at my daughter, I go, look how much we're paying for water. And I go, when you are in the shower, imagine pennies falling out of the shower head and going down the drain. That's what you're doing. And then I just go like, I have never sounded older than I do saying
The
that.
idea that like the lights and the water cost money is like something kids are never going to accept. It's just too abstract. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't care. Yeah. We got to do the shower thing, at least for Elliot. He'd probably enjoy a shower.
I think he would, yeah.
Now, this bath fucking such a fucking hassle.
I know they still play in the shower, because my next mission is to get no like action figures in the shower, because sometimes I'll go like, they've been in there like 15, 20 minutes. I'll poke my head in and like hair is dry and they're playing with toys. I was like, God damn.
Wait, a question.
Yeah.
So is your son handling all of the washing himself?
Yeah, and he's not old enough to like really stink yet.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of fine. And another dad thing I do is I smell his head when he gets out of the shower because I
see if the shampoo has
see if it
touched
smells like if he smells like Tresemme or whatever, because then I go, oh, if you smell like a wet dog, I know you did not wash your hands. That's what you told me. And then he puts body wash on his hands, just real quickly kind of rubs his body, and which is not cleaning him. But again, it's
mostly just about rinse.
He's still okay. Yeah.
I figure the soak does a lot lot of the work.
Yeah, which you're not getting with the shower, but the shower can be quick if you're like on top of it. You gotta kinda, I tried putting like an egg timer in our bathroom for a while where I go 5 minutes and it starts beeping, and then the kids would then like turn off the egg timer before I got to 5. They've outsmarted me at every turn.
And do your children ride bikes?
No, and it's actually that's kind of a sore subject for me because I feel like I've failed as a father.
I feel like
Same.
Yeah.
I feel like we're failing Elliot that he doesn't know how to ride a bike.
That
balance bike.
The balance bikes years ago, and I mean, the excuse is that we live on a busy street, and I'm just like, the whole idea of them riding on the sidewalk,
where are they going to go?
But it's not really a good excuse. They still should.
Are they interested? Do they want to learn?
Not really.
My kids don't want to learn either.
Yeah,
I've heard there's a camp you can send them to teach them how to ride a bike. And I considered it, and I go, is that the most like LA shit ever?
Yeah.
Like, I go, you send your kid to like a day-long intensive
things
class.
that people used to just do. Now you pay someone to teach.
Honestly, here's the thing: how important is it to ride a bike? Like we all learned, it feels like a rite of passage. It feels like learning how to tie your shoes or something. But really,
for me, I had to learn to ride a bike because no one would drive me to anything ever.
Right.
It was the only way to get to anything. School, like. I didn't have a parent who would drive me to things, So it was more a necessity. Whereas these kids,
It would be pure recreation.
what were they? Yeah, they're not riding to their friends' houses.
Well, and it's occurred to me too, if I teach them how to ride a bike, how often are they going to go, let's go outside and ride bikes? Probably never.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have a bike and I like riding my bike and I would love to take them, but getting them outside to do anything, I always feel like is a challenge in our family.
Getting me outside to do anything is a challenge. Tony, when's the last time you rode a bike?
It's probably been a few years, but I do like it and still like it. Actually, if I go visit my parents in Virginia, they have some bikes there and like live in like a neighborhood that's not busy, so it's actually really nice to ride through there.
Yeah.
I
We're not in a bike-friendly area.
Right.
That's part of the problem.
I went through a bike phase when I lived in Brooklyn. I was like, I'm going to be a bike person. Because I had gone, what happened is I was in Orange County visiting friends, and a couple of them were going to ride to the beach like later that day. And then they like, they're like, Allison, we know you're not going to want to come. And I was like, oh, what makes you think I wouldn't? And then it was so
you
like,
don't know me.
yeah. And I was like, I will come. And it was something I would never do normally, like have fun that involves the beach in the sun. But I was so physically tired by the end. I was like, I can't even think. I love this. So then briefly I got into it and I did enjoy it. But yeah, I just think that we're not in a bike friendly area. You can use our excuse, Danny.
Yeah, I rode up to, I've only done this once, so don't be impressed by it. But my dad, who's like a mountain biker, we rode from our place up to like basically the Hollywood sign, like Griffith Observatory, which was hard but was amazing. And I have this desire to take my kids outside and do things. I did a little bit of that. I'm not a super outdoorsy guy, but like for instance, this week I'm going camping by myself.
Oh my God.
Because no one in my family will come with me. It's like,
wow.
We're doing one later in the summer where we're renting like an Airstream and we're gonna do that whole thing. And they're like, okay, if it's inside something, maybe. But I'm going tent camping and I'm like really giving my kids the hard sell on this. I'm like, we'll do s'mores, whatever. And they go, no, there's snakes
Not interested.
and bears, and we're not doing.
Where are you going to go?
Down in like Orange County by the beach. There are no snakes and no bears there, I guarantee. But I feel like, similar to them not knowing how to ride a bike, I'm feeling like pretty soon they're going to be adults who can't
Never
ride a bike and have never
yeah.
been camping, and they're going to go, who raised you? Who was
Yeah.
your father?
Is there a temptation to do Cub Scouts or anything like that?
Yeah, we tried talking my son into it. He was not into it. I was a Cub Scout. I was a Boy Scout. No, I didn't go through Eagle Scout, but I did that, and I
You got basic skills.
Yeah, and I go, I'm not like I would die in the forest in a day. I mean, I'm not particularly manly in that way, but I just realized all the outdoorsy stuff I did as a kid. It's because my dad took me to do it, even like one time, or I played basketball for maybe like 2 years when I was in elementary school, and I'm not good at it. But if I do anything outdoors, I go, I have a basketball. I like shooting hoops. It's because I just did it like for a little bit of time. But I think my kids don't have a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's problem. It's something I worry about too as a dad. There's like those things you're supposed to teach your kid to do. And it's like, he doesn't know how to throw a football.
Yeah.
So I bought a football and then I tried to teach him, and it's just like, this kid.
Well, and then if they
he
hate
ain't
it,
a football player.
like if you try to do that and they don't love it, you're like, then why are we doing this for me? Like, do you have to know how to throw a football so I don't feel guilty?
I think part of it is that. Part of it is just like I'm fantasizing about this moment in his life when he's going to be with the guys, and he'll reveal that he never learned, and it's going to be humiliating. And I want him to have
never
basic
learned what?
skills.
Bike riding? Any of it?
Any of the basic dude skills,
Let's itemize. Let's list the dude skills.
Okay.
Riding a bike,
Mm-hmm.
throwing a football,
Mm-hmm.
changing a tire.
I don't know how to do that, but that is up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the ones that you feel like you have to teach your kid? How to drive? Probably, I
Yeah.
imagine.
Well,
Everyone.
that'll happen.
Okay.
I feel like basic cooking. You know, like cook yourself like some eggs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I did. That is something I last week told him I wanted to learn how to do with him, is learn to cook, because I think he got snack shamed at school.
Oh, yes. There's a whole thing.
I think someone said like, you don't eat healthy, and
He's very
now
concerned
he's
about
like,
eating healthy.
Is this healthy? He's like worried that he's eating unhealthy, and of course he doesn't. But that's our fault, not his fault. And so I was like, well, shit, he's on us. So but I don't know how to cook. So
You do.
yeah, so not
Did
really.
you hear that eye roll? Jesus.
I can cook a few things, but I was like, well, maybe together, we'll get some veggies and learn to do what you do with veggies. I don't know what you do with veggies, but like we'll figure that out and we'll learn to cook and he'll know how to do something. So yeah, that's like a skill. I've been taking him to karate.
Oh, that's yeah.
Now that is something where he doesn't really want to go.
He's warming up to it.
Daniel's invested.
He's warming. He's starting to engage.
Okay.
He did something that I was so proud because he didn't want to do it. He was like, I don't want to go.
And then he just kicked the shit out of this guy.
He killed a man.
For no reason. There was a nerd. So no, he didn't want to go, and he was just every time it was like pulling teeth. And so then finally one day I was like, look, if you want to stop doing it, you can. If you want to quit, you can quit. And then he thought about it. He's like, I don't want to quit.
Nice.
And I was like, that's my boy. Yeah. And then a week later, he was like, I want to quit. And I'm like, offers off the table, kiddo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that part.
But now he's back into it. Look, I was just like, look, if he's going to be a theater kid, if he's going to be into the arts and he's going to be a sensitive sweetie, then he's going to have to learn self-defense. Because it's a brutal world out there. And we talked to somebody whose kids went to a rival high school in Burbank, and they said that that high school is very rough. And so I don't know. I want him to learn how to defend himself.
I feel like I'm not going to. But the person who said this to us
had been a guest on your show.
Yes. And I feel like she or he or they on air might have even been talking about it, but I feel like I can't lest I feel like I could say, but
let's say the high school is
how awkward that I brought it up.
Burbank High School is the high school.
Yeah.
Now he's not going to go to that high school, but just the idea that there's an element of like danger at one of the high schools is like, okay, I just want him to feel self-assured enough to not be, just to be able to carry himself. If I don't know, someone wants to bully him or whatever the fuck.
I feel like that's on the man skill list. Although even though I will say like my father never had to talk with me about that, and I've also never been like I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I feel like I'm gonna have to like fight my way out of it. I'll be like I'll just run away, I guess.
Well, but you're a funny guy, and were you a fast talker? For me, it was always like I wasn't a fighter. I was like a little late developing, so everyone else was like more masculine and bigger than me, just on my age. But like I could talk my way out, or I could make them laugh and like get out of the situation that way.
Yeah, I don't even know that I mean maybe I was just lucky like that I wasn't like targeted in any way, but like I think I was just like such a vanilla person. I think I flew under the radar in all ways.
Blend in.
Not worth their time.
Did you know Danny went to Tony, because you listened to the episode. Danny went to high school with Jordan.
Oh,
Morris.
that's right. I forgot about that.
Oh,
that's right.
Oh, okay. That was in Orange County, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
Actually, I saw Jordan at a concert on Thursday night.
Oh, what
actually,
show?
Randomly, this band called the Slackers, a New York ska band. We saw them play in a bowling alley.
Oh, nice.
Were you in his class?
He was a senior. I was a freshman.
Oh, okay. Because he had a funny reunion story.
Oh, yes.
I forget what it was.
I can't remember what it was either. It was funny though.
I don't think my class, even just a few years younger than him, even has done reunions. Or if they have, I haven't gone. I feel like Facebook destroyed the concept of high school.
Yeah.
My parents have gone to a couple of theirs, but I feel like people under like 60, I feel like that you're like, I see what's going on with everybody.
Right.
I don't need to make awkward small talk with them.
Yeah.
I think we should do Just Me or Everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
I have one. I am perplexed every time I have to choose in my phone, add to existing contact or create new contact.
Yeah.
I never know, like I will, I'll have like, this is how confused I am about the order of things. So I hit the little plus thing or whatever. And then I think, well, the person's name is already right here. So I guess I'm adding to an existing contact, but then that's not at all what I'm doing. I always just want to create new contact.
Your phone is now nosy enough to pull the information from an email.
Yes.
So you have sort of a false positive. You go,
Right.
oh, I must already have this person, but you don't.
Yeah. It's always add new contact,
Same.
But then
That's
you might
the
have
rule.
two of the same person,
I guess.
right? You could, like, if you only had an email address for someone
Right.
and now you have their phone number, you might have two.
Yeah, it's true.
It's always baffling.
Yeah.
It's forever confusing. Okay, what is yours, Danny?
So I'm not a dog person. I'm not opposed to dogs. I've just never had a dog, never had a pet. And I daily interact when I go for I go for a run and there's someone walking a dog. I feel like 9 times out of 10, the dog tries to just run or walk into me. Is this now? I don't know. Have you noticed this? Like, I get afraid when I see someone like 100 feet away with a dog. I'm like, this dog is going to try to
Attack you?
or not even attack, but like they're trying to walk into me, a running man, and I'm worried I'm going to step on the dog and hurt it, or I'm going to get tripped. And I don't know if I'm imagining this, but I feel like every dog does this, and it worries me multiple times per run.
I used to run. I stopped recently, but on the Chandler path over here, and I did encounter that. I feel like that happened more with the bigger dogs, and it was mostly because owners don't get control of their dogs enough, or they think they let the dogs wander. Like the dog should be on the grass, not on the
Interesting.
sidewalk. So when they see that, you're like, oh, and I always try to make a wide berth.
But I do think that some dogs are like, ooh, running. I'm going to run with you. Here we go.
Yeah, and I feel like, and again, I think I'm inflating this in my mind, but I think 9 out of 10 dogs are trying to like trip me.
It's like they're like, there's that guy.
Yeah, we heard he doesn't have it. We'll show him.
It's that non-dog guy.
Yeah.
Tony, did you have one?
I'm Daniel.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Oh my God. This just mirror everyone.
Hi.
You look at your husband,
I'm your
Daniel, and you call him Tony. Danny, I do this all the time. Usually I save it for the end of the show. Sorry. Daniel, did you have one?
This is little, but like every time I see someone write out SCOTUS, I think Scrotus. Is it just me? Scrotus? Maybe it's just me. I can't.
I like that. My son is getting very into penis humor now, which of course, really, that's when I've felt probably the most proud of him. But and he only does it to me because he doesn't want to say it to my wife and my daughter. But I go, "Hey, Dad," and he'll go like, "Balls," and then he'll laugh so hard. But he doesn't know the word scrotum yet, and I'm trying to sort of like, I don't want to give him everything at once. I feel like maybe he needs to discover that on his own, but he knows balls and he knows penis.
Yeah. Well,
That's so
good.
funny.
That's the core of most comedy these days.
Elliot hasn't gone that direction yet, but Owen does. Usually it's just about butts, but lately there's been some penis humor in there.
Elliot
too.
did skip that whole like grabbing his junk all the time sort of phase. He's very like modest, and I don't know where he got that, because we're not like at all uptight or make him feel like he should be modest. It just came over him at some point. He just was like really, really private, and it's just ingrained.
Did you like when we potty trained our kids, we did the method where they're just like naked for like months at a time or whatever, and I think because of that, like our kids didn't even occur to them that they should not like cover themselves up at any point. So but now that the ages they are, they're starting to go like, oh, maybe I shouldn't walk around completely nude.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that method, and I don't know how to account for Elliot's.
It's just his personality, I think.
Yeah, I think that, it's weird. There must be something like instinctual about it.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
I said that so ferociously. Of course there is.
Oh, okay, jeez.
Because Eve ate the apple.
But Owen,
And
on the
then-
other hand,
and
will
then
just
they
moon,
had to wear
he'll
fig
moon
leaves.
he'll just drop trout like at Target. He'll pull his pants, like.
But no, he won't though, actually, because
He
he
has.
doesn't like if I'm helping him get dressed. Like, Mommy, close the door. Elliot, don't look. He starts.
Well, that's if there's mess. That's if there's pottying happening.
No, even just changing clothes. I help him get dressed in the morning.
Sounds like you got an exhibitionist.
If you say so. Listen, if you say so.
Oh, here's a little story. The night I was on Kimmel. So I have done like thousands of improv shows. And when you're getting ready for an improv show or a play or whatever, you're changing clothes. And you just kind of like, maybe being in a band is the same way. Like you just change or whatever. Men, women in the room. It's like you're just kind of like, it's just kind of a normal thing. And then but before my Kimmel appearance, I'm backstage in my dressing room. My producer Claire, who's a good friend of mine, she's producing my segment. I go, I got to get into my suit, and I just started changing
right in front of her.
And she went like, oh, and now granted, like I took off, like I'm wearing like boxers. Essentially, it's like from the bottom half, I'm in like a swimsuit or something, which wouldn't be weird. Yeah. But I just started changing while we were talking, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she was like embarrassed for me. She wasn't like, but she walked around the corner, and I went, "I'm so sorry, I just did that." I go, I was just so absent-mindedly, I was just putting on my suit, to go get ready for the show, and I went, "Oh yeah, this is why I'm not a television personality. I'm a lowly improviser behavior like this."
No, see, I feel like that kind of behavior would be a television personality of just like, here's my junk.
I guess. No one saw my junk. I just want to be clear.
Well, if you were a model, that would be normal. Like models just disrobe in front of people all the time.
Yeah, so. I'm a disgusting writer, though. It's not. It's not writer behavior.
Does anyone have a hey, go fuck yourself?
I have one that may not be a popular opinion, but I'm going to throw it out there.
Let's hear it.
I bought about Mother's Day flowers for both my wife and my mom, and they were very expensive. Like you can't even get like I paid so much for them, and then my mom sends me the picture like, "Oh, thanks," and I went, "God damn it, that's what they sent you for that amount of money." But so it's not even the flowers I'm upset with; it's the percent tip. Okay, I love to tip. I love tipping a little too much. Yes, I do, but I think in an era where things have gotten very expensive, the idea that you're still tipping a percentage on things. So like I called them, ordering them on the phone, and then they go, "Oh, do you want to tip?" And I go, "Yeah, okay, yeah." They go, "How much?" I go, 20%, right? Now 20%, I wasn't even thinking, because that's what you're supposed to say. $40 for a driver, and I go, "Ooh," I go, "Of course I want the driver to have a tip." And then we got pizza the other night, and it was $100 for like 4 pizzas, and there's a space for a tip. And this was a pizza place where we had no waiter. Someone did come and drop it off at the table, and I was like, am I tipping $20? I go, I don't want to be cheap, and I want to do the right thing, but some things are so expensive. I feel like we need to figure out a system where in that instance there is a lump sum. It's like, do you want to tip $5, $10, $15? And then like at the coffee shop, for instance, if I get a coffee and there's like they do that, $1, $2, I go, I'll tip $2 on a $5 coffee, because it's $2. It's not $40 for delivery. Now I'm maybe that makes me an asshole for thinking this way, but it
should be like a flat service fee.
Yeah.
And so like if I'm ordering breakfast, which is usually cheap, the waiter isn't getting less than if I go to dinner and they do the same amount of work.
Yeah, in some instances they'll probably make out better.
Yeah. I think that's fair, and so that there's a cap. Yeah, it's like you're paying a tax on, or they're receiving a tax on the. What am I saying? They're getting more money because things are more expensive because of tariffs or whatever.
Like the service isn't any different. I feel, and we rarely like order Uber Eats or whatever, but I think sometimes too, if you're like, okay, I'm going to Uber Eats a salad, the salad now costs $45 because of this, and then it's like the tip on top of it, you're like, that's kind of a lot, and maybe this person is driving from I don't know. I go, I want everyone to be well compensated, but sometimes when the price is so high, it sucks to tip a percent on it.
Yes, agreed. Oh, wait a minute, we're not agreeing with you. We're just saying, hey, tipping on flowers.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
I feel like everyone, this is hacky to even bring up, so I'll just bring it up very fast. But I don't like being asked if I want to leave a tip on every transaction, because I feel like a real asshole. Like when I bought my $21 gummy bears that tasted like soap, I hit no tip, and then I felt guilty.
Yeah. But it's like a retail transaction.
I know.
Why would you tip on that?
There's a whole John Oliver episode recently about
what they say
just covered tipping. I don't remember things anymore.
Okay, no, I don't either.
But highly recommended if,
right.
It was only like in the last month probably.
I haven't seen it, but it does feel like employers trying to pass off part of the cost of their employees.
Hey, cash registers.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Our point of service card readers. And did you have one, Daniel? Or
I
Tony?
mean, mine are always boring. Mine are always
no, yours are good.
Well, yeah, with that attitude, come on.
Well, mine are always traffic. My frustrations in my life are traffic and parking at the school for pickup and shit like that. Like, if you're at a fucking pickup spot, get in your car and leave. All right. So, that's a go fuck yourself. What else?
It is bad at our school. I'll say. Like,
It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of there. I got a ticket.
oh, you did?
Yeah, because I parked on the wrong side of the street because the people, so our school.
I love Daniel got a parking ticket for being in a red zone, but feels it wasn't just.
It was
not
not
a
in
red
a
zone.
red
I'm sorry,
zone.
but it was.
No, let me explain.
Okay.
How dare you take their side? Jesus Christ. What do you think the parking meter maids are listening and they're going to give you a break? You get no break. First they came for the husbands and you said nothing. Listen, so our school, on the other side there are homes. It's a residential school. And someone who lives in one of those homes, and I have fantasized about leaving a flyer at every home so they all know that I know, calls the fucking parking enforcement at the time when pickup happens. And so there's always a fucking meter maid waiting there because that side of the street is no parking unless you have a placard, but you have to live in that specific neighborhood, which we do not. So that means that there's always spots over there. Like, look at, you can, showing its leg, you can come over here. But like on the other side, there's never parking. And so I've got to circle a million times. My kid's out there thinking maybe my parents left me. Maybe I'm going to have to live in a group home. Like, and meanwhile, I'm just like, I'm here. I haven't abandoned you. So I parked there, get a fucking ticket.
Oh no.
And
you were probably there for 4 minutes.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And so like the guy is just finishing doing the ticket. And I'm like, dude, like, why? I'm like, you could come here at any other time of the day. There's 10 minutes. Why now? He's like, they fucking called. Like, it's not my fault. It's like, but you chose this job. Like, you didn't have to do this.
You were just
could
following
do so
orders.
many other things with your life.
When you got the ticket, was there a little line for a tip? They'd be like,
honestly,
20% is customary. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that I feel like if you live on a street with an elementary school, when you buy a house,
yes,
either move
exactly,
or you got to go, you know what? Twice a day, there's a 15-minute window where it's crazy here, and you just got to deal with that.
Yeah, like, what's the big deal, man? Like, why would you do that? Like, what kind of psychopath is like, I'm going to fucking get tickets for these parents that are just picking up their kids?
And if people are blocking your driveway or they're, fine, but
right.
it's like,
but it wasn't a red zone.
I was misinformed. No, I was wrong. I was incorrect. I was mistaken.
Yeah.
But still, he does. No, I guess I see your point now more. Now that we've talked about it. Yeah.
Now that we're in front of an audience, when it's behind closed doors, she never sees my point. Go ahead.
I've risked it a few times. If you're late,
yeah,
that's the thing. If you're late and you're like, oh, my kid's gonna be worried, I have parked there and just run across the street and gotten them. And but it's always a risk.
I did the double park. So where the second graders are let out, there's like that little area where they're kind of congregate.
Yeah.
And there was no parking. Elliot was right there. I was like, nah, fuck it. And so like and there were no cars behind me. And then so I'm double parked. I run across, I get him, I get back in the car, and the principal comes down and is like, you can't do that. So
busted.
Yeah, it was a real bummer.
You're like the real like Jesse James of pickup, you can play by your own rules.
I'm just like, I can't shoplift. I can't do anything. It was probably good for society that happened because otherwise I'd probably be on a crime spree.
Yeah, real wake up call. You got scared straight.
And like, yeah, I don't know. And then I got into it with parents on the because on Facebook there's like this, here are the rules about parking and picking up, and we always post this, and it's good for 2 days, and then inevitably, and I was like, excuse me, and I couldn't.
I was so stunned to find out from Daniel because I try to avoid these kind of Facebook message boards because I find them very insane. I was stunned to find out he had mixed it up on there.
I mean,
but another mother
good.
thanked him for his perspective.
But was the tone like maybe it was sarcastic? Like
from that one, I don't think it was. Or was
no,
it?
she was good.
Would you say thank you for sharing your thoughts? Thank you for sharing an important point.
I mean, the problem is what I was taking out on the moms on the Friends of Our School site. I really was. It was that anger was really for the fucking resident across the street who calls the meter maids.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I don't know, man.
Do you run into any of these parents? Because on Facebook, it's got like your face and name, right? Do you run into the parents?
I would if I really committed their faces to memory.
They might have run into him, though.
Yeah.
The fantasy, though, is to say, look, one of you motherfuckers is calling the and so you're all
you
going to
think it's another parent?
No. These are flyers I'm going to leave at the homes across the street. And it's like, you work it out because you're all going to get punished. Or one of you could get punished if you fucking finger the culprit. Or
I see.
Or all of you get it. So turn them in. Hunt them. You root out the fucking traitor.
What is this flyer going to say?
I don't know, something nasty. Boy, is it going to set them straight. It's going to be so good. ChatGPT, tell me what it is.
And what's it going to look like? How far has it gone when you think of your fantasy?
I don't know. What is it? What, you, like a fish wrapped in newspaper? Is that what you're supposed to do? Well, all of you are sleeping with the fishes, or one of you. Who's it going to be? I don't know. Maybe it'll be the meter maid's head in a bowling sack. I don't know.
So, hey, a resident who called the cops.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
And now, I think it might be time for Podcast Pals.
Hang on a second.
Oh,
I
my God.
told you I had one.
Oh, yeah. Daniel?
Thank you, Tony.
Sorry.
I feel like this one has maybe been done before, but I feel like it's driven me crazy for a long time, and I feel like it's happening even more and more now. I feel like especially in doctors' offices for some reason, people that watch fucking shit on their phone with the volume on.
Yes.
Oh.
And have conversations on speakerphone. What the fuck?
Drives me crazy. Maybe even I'll give a slight pass to if it's a kid, maybe. Still annoying, but slight pass. But even worse if it's a game. Like people that play games with the sound out. It's like, come on.
Yeah, you can't go muted Candy Crush for 10 minutes while you're waiting. Yeah.
Oh, but that music's.
Yeah.
Oh, I also have seen a lot of people doing, not even having a conversation on speakerphone, but their voice to texting, going like, I will be there in 5 minutes, period. Can I bring you anything, ? That's even weirder. Yeah.
What is up with that?
I don't know.
I feel conspicuous if I'm having, which I don't very often, but an actual phone call where I'm holding the phone to my ear and I'm in public.
Yeah.
Let alone having the person on speakerphone.
I know. I can't imagine having the confidence to talk on the phone in public.
Yeah.
Also, it's never an important phone call because when you can hear both sides of it, you're like, why are you two even on the phone right now? Yeah. This couldn't wait.
When I took my mom to get her cataract surgery, so we're in the waiting room for cataract surgery, and there were like 3 different people also in the waiting room having conversations on their speakerphone. It does seem to be in medical offices.
Yeah,
weird.
it's like it's extra there. I don't know if it's just because it's so quiet and you notice it more.
Right.
But I feel like anytime I'm in one of those offices, I will hear somebody's video.
Maybe older people, depending on the type of doctor. Like if it was like cataract surgery, maybe traditionally an older patient, and that's
I guess, but like
but I feel like in my instances, it's just been
just weirdos.
Yeah, usually weirdos. So, hey, you non-earbuds users.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
And now it's time to do Podcast Pal product pick.
Podcast Pals product picks.
Danny.
So I haven't used this yet, so I will caveat this, but I have grown officially tired of hotel room coffee, like hotel room Keurig coffee. And so my wife and I are going on an anniversary trip later this month, and I've bought a travel kettle and instant coffee, which I'm told instant coffee is quite good now if you get the right stuff. So I got a little, like a cute little box of like craft coffee and a travel kettle that I don't know how well it could totally light our hotel room on fire when I use it. I don't know, but it's small enough to pack.
It's electric?
It's electric.
Neat.
And the little cord packs into it. And so I'm going to be like a little barista in my hotel room now.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Will you send me the link to that?
I will.
So
Yeah.
I can put it in my Amazon shop if it's on Amazon.
And then I Googled, like what's the best instant coffee, and I found this like exhaustive article. So I found the one that wasn't like so expensive or whatever, but it looks like a little like kind of indie coffee roaster that makes these little packs of instant coffee. So yeah, I'll send you that too.
Whenever I have instant coffee, which is very rare, because I don't go for it, but whenever I have it, I'm always surprised by how much it tastes like strong coffee. Because I think in my mind, I think instant coffee is going to be somehow weak, but the flavor is pretty robust.
I think it was bad for a very long time, and I think people kind of figured it out. Because I've been told for years, the Starbucks instant coffee is really good, and I didn't really believe it. But now it's like a whole little industry. It's a whole product people
In
put
my
out.
house, we had a jar of U-Ban and a jar of Coffee Mate, and that was coffee.
I knew a kid in college who would just like take that instant coffee and just pack a cup with it and just put a little bit of water and just shoot. Get that like
Yeah.
rush. I mean, this is before energy drinks, you know.
Yeah.
I have a product pick that's related that I just reminded is that AeroPress. Allison got me. That's really good too.
I thought about that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I may eventually get there. But so you have to travel with a little
so you have
more,
it's like a whole
right?
thing.
Yeah.
You have to have the grounds and all of that, and so there's like a little bit more waste you got to deal with. But that made a pretty good cup of coffee, as I recall. We lost ours, but I liked it a lot.
And then so you like I know it has like a tiny little filter, and you have to grind it and then put hot water in, and then you push it down. It makes like an espresso basically.
Yeah, like a very very strong cup of
It's
coffee.
hard to, it takes strength to use it though, is what I remember, to press.
Well, not for me.
Okay.
And you don't need. I guess you don't need electricity for it.
Correct. You need hot water, but
Hot
not
water,
electricity.
but yeah. So it's good for like camping or if you're backpacking or whatever. Yeah.
It's another way to go.
All right. Good.
Now you know. Well, this has been too much fun. Simply too much fun. I would like to remind everyone, Patreon and
Substack,
merch, all the stuff. Follow me everywhere. Leave a review for the show. Tell your friends. I rely on your direct support, so thank you so much. Danny, please plug whatever you would like to plug.
Oh, well, I've got a book out. It's called Wow, You Look Terrible, How to Parent Less and Live More. I think it's funny, and I think if you're a parent, I hope you feel seen by it. It's on Audible, too, if you think reading is gross. They did a great job with the audiobook, so it's out there, too.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Daniel.
I got nothing.
Well, not with that attitude.
Well, check out Danny's book.
Yeah.
That's my plug.
And Tony. And please note that I got Daniel and Tony right this time.
Thank God.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Just Tony Thaxton on Instagram. Check out Motion City Soundtrack on Instagram too. Big news coming on Monday, I think.
Again,
So
I want
keep your
to know
eyes
that.
out for that.
I already know what it is. And you don't.
it's
I already know.
People kind of know.
Kristen
but
Wiig over
official,
But
official
I
announcement.
really know. Like they think they know, but I truly you've already told me and I already know.
It's true.
Keeping a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting
Thank you.
stuff.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I got it. Well, everyone, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen show?